Section 13.2 is about consumer credit, and we'll be talking primarily installment loans and revolving loans, and repaying installment loans at the beginning. So let's define the terms. An installment loan, or called a closed-end credit, involves borrowing a set amount of money up front and paying a series of equal installments, in words payments, until the loan is repaid. This type of credit is commonly used to finance the purchase of cars, furniture, and appliances. The other type, called the revolving loan or open-end credit, involves borrowing up to a credit limit with no fixed number of payments. The consumer continues paying until no balance is owed. Additional credit often is extended, as long as the limit is not exceeded, before the initial amount is paid off. So examples of open-end credit include most department store credit or charge accounts and bank charge cards, such as MasterCard and Visa. And that's probably the one you're most familiar with. So let's begin by talking about installment loans. So here's an example. Finding the monthly payment for an add-on interest furniture loan. Sandra and Mira buy $8,500 worth of furniture for their new home. They pay $3,000 down. The store charges 10% add-on interest. The furniture is to be paid off in 30 monthly payments, 2.5 years. Find the monthly payment. Okay, so first of all, the total amount is $8,500 minus $3,000 down payment, which means $5,500 needs to be financed. And so the formula for the future value was principal plus interest, where the interest formula was P times R times T, where R is the rate, in this case 10%, and T is the number of years. And so here we have 2.5 years. So that then becomes P plus P times R times T, or P times 1 plus RT. So in this case, the amount P is what needs to be financed, $5,500. $5,500 times 1 plus 0.10 times the number of years is 2.5 years, 2.5. Better make that a bracket. So there would be 5,500 times 1.25, and that's equal to $6,875. That needs to be financed for 30 months. So then to find the monthly payment, we divide 6,875 by the number of months. 2.5 years is 30 months. And that turns them into $229.17. So that would be the monthly payment for 30 months to pay off the financed amount of $5,500. It's really very simple calculations when you look at the sequence that we went through here. Next, let's talk about revolving loans. They're a little more complicated, and they usually involve like department store credit cards or bank credit cards, where you can make many purchases during a month up to a certain credit limit, and the required monthly payment can vary from a set minimum up to the full balance that you can pay off at once, which is of course what you want to do. At the end of each billing period, typically a month, the customer receives an itemized billing statement, and many of you have received that, and they list the purchases and cash advances and the total balance owed and the minimum payment required, and perhaps other account information. Then any charges beyond cash advance and cash prices, things that you purchased, are called finance charges. So finance charges typically include interest, perhaps an annual fee, credit insurance coverage if that's required, and a time payment differential or carrying charges. And then most revolving credit plans calculate finance charges on the average daily balance method. So that's a little bit complicated, but what it really is, it's the average daily balance that is the weighted mean of the various amounts of credit utilized for different parts of the billing period, with the weighting factors being the number of days that each credit amount applied. So that's the complicating factor, the average daily balance. And so we're going to do an example of how that is done. Here we'll be going through an example about finding finance charges and bank balances using the average daily balance method. For this particular credit card account, assume 1 month between billing dates with the appropriate number of days, and interest of 1.3% per month on the average daily balance. A, find the average daily balance. B, find the monthly finance charge. And C, find the account balance for the next billing. So the best thing is to set up a little table for all this information. So we begin with the date of May 9th, so 5/9, and the balance is $728.36. $728.36. Then on May 17th, we have a payment of $200. So 5/17. So that reduces the balance by $200. So it's $528.36. Then on May 30th, there's a dinner for $46.11. So we add $46.11 to $528.36. That's on 5/30th. So now the running balance is $574.47. And then on June the 3rd, there's another charge for theater tickets for $64.50, so that's 6/3. And so now the running balance is increased by $64.50, and so that'll be $638.97. $638.97. And of course the next billing date would be 6/9. Okay, so then from the 9th to the 17th is 8 days. The running balance was $728.36. So we multiply $728.36 times 8, and that is $5,826.88. Then from the 17th to the 30th, that is 13 days. So we multiply $528.36 times 13, and that is $6,868.68. And then from the 30th to the 3rd is 4 days, because May has 31 days. So we multiply 4 times 574.47, and that is $2,297 31.88. And then to the next billing date would be 6 days. And 6 times 638.97 is equal to 3,833.82. So we have a total of 31 days. And when we add up the running balance times the days, that is equal to 18,826.64. So we find the average daily balance by dividing this grand total of 18,826.64 by 31. So 18,826.64 divided by 31 equals $607.31. So that is the average daily balance. So that's our A part. So A, we can say $607.31. $607.31. Now for the B part, to find the finance charge, we multiply the finance interest rate of 1.3%, which is equal to 0.013, times the average daily balance of 607.31, and that is equal to $7.90. So that's for the B part. So the interest, the finance charge is $7.90. And then the question, the account balance for the next billing, well, that would be equal to $638.97, the last balance here, plus the finance charge. So then for the C part, we have $638.97 plus $7.90, and it's equal to, let's see, $646 and 87 cents. So it's the last balance, $638.97, plus a finance charge of $7.90. And so that would be our C part. So C, the answer is $646.87. So it's A, B, and C. So it's a little bit more complicated than finding the add-on finance charges and what someone has to pay for an add-on credit, but for a loan rather. So revolving credit is a little bit more complicated. But of course, with modern computers and so on, it's a pretty simple thing for them to run that way, and so we very seldom have to do this by hand as we did in this example. But I went through the example just to help you gain a better understanding how the average daily balance is computed in case you have a credit card and you're wondering how to ever figure out the average daily balance. So that's really how long an amount is on your account before it changes again, and so you multiply the number of days until the account changes again, the amount changes, and then you get the product here, you add them all up and divide by the total number of days. That's the average daily balance.